all superstitions come out of this question of who. This is a problem with paganism and syncretism. So today, in African churches, people are talking Bible, reading the Bible, but they are going from the Old Testament. And the Old Testament is always confirming the paganistic tendencies, because this was before Jesus came. This is all what Jesus came to correct. If the Old Testament had been good enough, Jesus would have come. So somebody say, okay, if you don't believe in the Old Testament, why do remove it from your Bible? No, it's not that we don't believe the Old Testament. Old Testament is only a shadow of what is to come. But Old Testament today, we read it through the prism of the New Testament, through Christ. You read the best way to read the Old Testament now is through what Christ has done. If it is against what Christ says, if it is against what Christ has done, it means it has been erased. It has been replaced. It has to be in conjunction with what Christ has done. That is how we read the Old Testament. All of the Old Testament are to confirm the works of Christ, or they were operative before Christ came. The ones that we embrace now are the ones that are in line with the nature and the teachings of Christ in the New Testament. So the New Testament is the standard that we use to accept and see the truth of the Old Testament. So, but in our churches today, they are still asking the question, who? Who have I offended? You see, all superstitions come from the who have I offended? So we have the girl again here. So let's say she has not been married and she's, let's say, 30 years old, 40 years old. The question people in Africa will ask is, who have I offended? She cannot even believe it. She's smiling. She's smiling that, how can anybody think like that? How can anybody think like that? I'm not married. That they will say, who have I offended anybody? That's like, but that is from the paganistic mindset. So they will say, who have I offended? Is it my ancestors? That's another question people ask. It's also the question of who. Is it the ancestors or spirits or the gods? You see, it's who. Is it who have I offended? My neighbors or the ancestors or the gods? It's all about who. Who have I offended? So, only three options. If it is somebody in your father's house, then you say, no, not you. It has to be a woman. It's always a woman. It's always a woman to blame. It's your stepmother. Stepmother, she is responsible for your problem. Now she has an enemy. Now she begins to hate somebody and fight somebody. So that is if it is who. But let's say it is not who. Let's say it is the spirits, it's deliverance. You need deliverance. Or the gods. Then you need to go to the bishop. Pastor, no. Bishop. Then you need to go to the bishop. And the bishop will be doing deliverance. Cast out demon from you. It's all of this is what the who question leads to. No room for natural causes. You see, that's the problem. No room for natural causes like cold. Maybe she had cold. Maybe she was bitten by a mosquito, malaria. Maybe it's a disease. Maybe it's an infection. Maybe there is so this question, who, doesn't give room to cause and effect. Cause and effect. But the whole of life is based on the question of cause and effect. It is that leads you to truth. That is why God gave 10 commandments to the children of Israel. Even when Jesus had not come, God still gave principles, 10 commandments. So that people will know that there is a cause and there is an effect. If you see something, you have broken a law, or there is something you have done, you have something. There is always a cause and effect. If you see something, there is a reason for it. There is always a reason, not who. A cause and effect. Life is built on principles. Life is built on fixed laws. If you know those few, I have a whole series, Life is Predictable, on my teachings on YouTube or SoundCloud. Go and look for my series, Life is Predictable. Life is based on principles, predictable principles. If you follow those principles, it doesn't matter you believe in God or you didn't believe in God, you will be successful. But in Africa, people don't believe that life is based on principles and life is predictable. They don't even know about it. They think life is based on favor. Either favor from God, or favor from the gods, or favor from ancestors, or favor from the spirit, or favor from somewhere, or you have a favor from relative or friend. That is what people believe in Africa. It's all about who. Who do you know? Who do you have favor with? Who is your father? Who is your relative? It's all about who. That is the problem. That's the root of corruption in the society. And that's the root of, long leg and using man no man, or who do you know, and connection and things like that. Is all connected politically, socially, economically. It's the root of all kind of rubbish we have. We have to rebuild our society based on the principle of cause and effect. Cause and effect. It's not who you know, but what you know. It's not who will help you, but what do you have? What skill do you have? So life is supposed to, we should know that the way God created life is that even if you don't believe in God, like your parents and you too, everybody in this country, you are all communists before. Even if you don't believe in God, you are an atheist, you hate God. But the fact that you obey the laws of nature, you study well, you work hard, you do what you need to do, you will still be successful. Even if you hate God and you don't believe in God. God has put everything in place in such a way that it is principles. God is put life to work based on principles, not on superstitions, and not on who you know. Either you know God or you don't know God. That will it will be answering the question of who again. So it doesn't matter you know God, you don't know God. No, it is what you know. So even if you don't know God, but you are the best doctor in the world, you will be rich. Even if you don't know God, like for example, Bill Gates doesn't know God. But because he knows what nobody else knows, he doesn't know God, so he doesn't know who, but he knows what. So he's the richest man in the world. The person Mark Zuckerberg, who is the owner of the Facebook that we're using now, he doesn't believe in God. He's an atheist. But he knows something. Because he knows the principles, he's able to create Facebook for us to use, even though he doesn't know God. So it's not about who you know. God is not a respecter of persons anymore. It's about what you know. So let's say you don't believe in God and you know the principles of life and you obey it, like principles of diligence, process of production, production of goods and services, quality, excellence. You will be the best. You will be rich. And I, an African, who believe in God, only praying, and I'm waiting for favor. Oh, favor, God, I'm looking for your favor. Send me my helper, destiny helper. It's all about who. I will be poor for the rest of my life. I will be at the mercy of circumstances and people. So it is not the question life goes about, not under the question of who, but being used by the question of what. That means cause and effect. Everything etc. In Africa though, everything is spiritually connected. Everything is spirit. But Bible says in the Bible is about rules, principles. That's why it says, this book of the law shall not depart. You follow the law, follow the principles. He said, teach them to observe all I've taught you. If you observe the laws of life, it's finished.